Hello, people. Type in chat. Make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, I left for like 10 minutes. Saw NQ was chopping sideways. Left for 10 minutes to eat some breakfast. I come back and the market got smoked. First things first. If we invalidate a majority of this bounce, I am going to hop in short. Um, that's gonna happen. Fairly risky. The market's moving a lot, but ES missed a little pivot that I have here. So if this candle closes like this, I'm gonna have to take a stab at it. But inflation is the inflation numbers very, very, very bearish. So, um, yeah. All right, here's the last 10 seconds, and it's not filling me. Okay, never mind, it did fill me. All right, really, PT is ES in lieu of day. Um, I have a pretty tight stop. I'm pretty light sized as well. Yeah, and this is the 1-to-1 restored. So I guess we'll see what happens. Kind of have to get into that one. PT is ES, breaking that pivot. Anyways, type in chat. How do you guys do this morning? I had a great morning. 7 minutes is all it took before I was done. So I was very happy with those results. Um, I stop loss like there. I can't sell until ES gets this low. So if NQ gets low a day way before ES does, it's going to get pretty risky. You can sell if you want. I charted out the 1-to-1 risk to reward just for reference, but I need ES new low of day. It looks like it's trying not to hit it. Just gonna market sell if it hits. There's 1-to-1 restored. You can sell there. I need that ES level still. There it is. Boom. Sold it. It's probably gonna go further, but I don't really give a shit. It's very heavy demand. When did I sell that? Jeez, that's going far. I didn't even document anything yet, so I came into voice early just for you guys for this, for that trade. That is the reason I got in here early. I hope you guys appreciate it. I mean, we could if we really want to. Options trading only 7 minutes, futures trading only 3 minutes, and leave. That would lock in a good end to this week. It looks like NQ is going to break this demand. Yeah, that trade was 1:04, and I only sold at 7:10. That's where I filled, which is actually a pretty good sell considering it. It hit demand there. So that was it's a big trade. Type in chat if you guys caught that. I'm using Trade of 8 to trade futures, long GIA, and then Trading View for charting. It was an easy trade. When you look at the fundamentals and inflation expectations came in hot by a full percentage point, especially with a retesting supply on that bounce, it's a dead cat bounce. Come on. Easy. And then trade, my average was a little bit worse than what was. Oh no, 54.50 was my average. You could take longs there on NQ. It is stronger than ES. Looks like it can go for a bounce. But it's things are a little bit too bearish for me to want to go long. So I don't trust it. Looks good to at least get a dead cat bounce. I just have no idea how high it's going to get, and I don't really expect it to get very high. Sold that at... Man, that was a good sell. That was a very good sell. Slippage did me well. I got a way better fill because of that. Okay. Um, I mean, yeah, we swept a lot of shit. Wait a minute. Hang on, guys. We're on to something. Oh, is that a... Okay, swept it. Never mind. Did it sweep this one? Okay, so it's a valid pivot sweep in demand. You could re-enter ES shorts here if this candle closes without a buying wick. Too risky for me. I don't want to just hop right back into shorts, especially in this demand. You can though. I mean, it is valid. It is bearish. Wait, is this a perfect double bottom? Holy shit, I think it is a perfect double bottom. 86. Yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at it only because it's a perfect double bottom. I gotta wait for 10 seconds though. Giving it a chance only because of the perfect double bottom. Gotta do it on NQ, but it is very, 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 very risky. I do not like how that closed with a huge buying wick, but it happened at the very end of the candle, so there's no avoiding that. The perfect double bottom is on NQ. I took ES because ES was weaker at the time. It bounced way less hard. Looks like it's also dropping less though. So NQ was probably a better short there. Documented that. Looks like it's gonna go to my stop loss. I'm gonna try one more time for it if it comes back down. It just barely missed my stop loss, but NQ needs a higher high. The double bottom is at 21,686, so I still have bearish bias there. That's not a bad double bottom pivot at all. Um, the reason why it was super risky because NQ did sweep a pivot in super heavy demand. If we do invalidate this bounce, I'm gonna have to be back in. Looks like that first sell was pretty good, and that's a good stop loss as well. And I don't know if it's gonna be. It's looking like it's gonna be ES that I re-enter. NQ might be better though. And really, I mean, I guess you could go for the demand break. I guess it just depends on how we fall. It looks like ES has more profit potential than NQ does, especially if it's weaker too. Perspective lessons really helped my psych. That's awesome, E-cut. Yeah, that's one of my better lessons. But now NQ has almost just about invalidated a majority of this recent drop, so I'm starting to lean bullish to this high. Obviously, I'm still overall bearish. If we invalidate this, I'm in. Um, I guess the only way that I enter longs is if we do come up to the supply, reject, put in this inverse head and shoulders here. I can take longs out of that. Looks like I'm gonna have to take another stab at shorts. Again, these trades are fairly risky, so if you're not willing to lose money, I would not enter. That's a pretty damn bearish candle. And ES is a lot weaker than NQ. So, gonna give it the 10-second rule, but it's looking like I'm gonna enter on this candle. If you're not willing to lose, don't enter. Yep. I did place my order. I'm willing to give this thing one more shot after this trade. So if this stops out, I'm gonna give it one more chance. Then I'm done trying for it. Because if we start chopping up, I think it's gonna result in a short squeeze. That's a terrible candle to start with. Kind of looks like it's gonna try to stop me out. Would have loved if this bounce happened earlier and that last candle put in a buying wick, so I wouldn't have to enter with this crap average. It looks like NQ is going to need a higher high. Kind of looks like it's going to stop out. Unless somehow this next handle opens red, but that's probably not the case. Yeah, that's not the case. I'll give that trade one more chance. And if it doesn't play out, then price action's going to shit. And this price action looks good to stop me out a million times before it actually ends up hitting. Because this is chopping up way too steeply. Ecut said, I didn't read this part. Ecut, you said you didn't have a single red day. That is awesome. Yep, starting to lean bullish for NQ to get to this pivot now. It's a very, very minor one, but I'll mark out ESs as well. You know, it's bouncing a little too hard. You know, I could get triggered back into this trade, but it can easily keep stopping me out, and it just puts in. Typically, you don't expect large consolidation take place when the market's moving so volatile, with so much volatility. But that may be the case. We may start oscillating. We might get an inverse head and shoulders here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it, though. It's going to have to look so obvious if I'm going to play it. It's going to have to come down here, avoid me getting triggered into shorts, and do something like this. I can enter longs there. Yeah, it's a trade I can enter. I mean, you could enter here if you want to, but I would rather not because I don't want to have to reverse this trade and go short if this evening doji star plays out, and it looks like it's going to. The evening doji star is not playing out. NQ is still stronger than ES. That's bullish consolidation, very small bullish consolidation. And you can probably see it on the 15-second. Or it could be a tiny head and shoulders. Looks like it's playing out as a small little bull pennant. I mean, if we do get to the pivot and put in a really bearish liquidity sweep, I could go for a reversal trade. But I don't want to keep getting, I just don't want to get into a million trades. Because that's a pretty easy trade to stop out of as well. But I don't mind a reversal trade and supply on NQ back down to low of day. Yeah, Chipkin, I've taken a few. I'm pretty much break even on the day. Took a huge short in the beginning and then tried shorts twice more because NQ had a perfect double bottom, but ended up just chopping up instead. Missed out on the first one, Chimkin. The second two were just very risky things that I was willing to take. The first one I traded short, basically from NQ supply all the way to demand. We do have a lot of decreasing green volume. I'm thinking it's going to pull back right before it gets to that pivot to put in that inverse head and shoulders. It's almost like I just called it 1 minute before it happened. Well, it could be I don't know, guys. It could be a short entry, it could be a long entry. You guys can see where my short entry is. It's so easy to get stopped out right now. I don't expect it to chop very long. Like, because technically you could enter short on this candle and play it all the way down, but the inverse head and shoulders is very conflicting. I'll give it one more candle. The way it's dropping right now is indicating that it's bearish. What I'm hoping for is this candle puts in a big buying wick, we bounce and then come back down, and that's actually going to be much more decent for trying one more time for shorts. Instead, I'm only willing to try one more time. unless something amazing happens. Um, and if we go all the way back up, depending on, I mean, it depends. If we go back up in a super bullish manner, I'm going to be willing to take this trade. It's pretty much just going to be a 1-to-1, which I don't like, but only if it gets up in the most bullish manner ever. I'm still bearish for new low of day on NQ. That double bottom bugs me. And the news was genuinely bearish too, which has enough to drive us past this demand. Guys, if that entire bull hammer validates on ES, I might have to take shorts again. I'm hoping it bounces before that happens, which means I don't want this candle to close red. It's a very tough decision, kind of regardless, but it's pretty gambly. You guys can do whatever you want. Um, I'm willing to spend money on it. If you're not, don't. That was a fairly bearish candle on ES. I'm hoping that NQ can squeeze it back up because the more bounces, the more likely my short is to play out. But I mean, you guys see where my ES entry is. That's ideally where I want to enter. And I mean, we have a long way to go before PT. That's at my entry. And that really hurts the odds of the inverse head and shoulders playing out. It could just be baiting me in again because ES is getting another buying wick. But if that buying wick doesn't hold, I think I might just take it. Let's see, I have 4 seconds. NQ's bearish for a lower low. 2 seconds. Can't do it. It had a buying wick. I had to wait. Have to wait. My finger was on the trigger though. It's still kind of on the trigger. I can be tempted to enter if it invalidates this buying wick. I know that NQ needs to make a lower low, which is going to drive ES down. But I'm really trying to delay here because it's still too likely to stop me out. But here's the bear pennant that we have formed now. Oof, I wanted ES to sweep that high. It looks like NQ is actually gonna end up being weaker than ES now, which means I'd rather enter NQ shorts at the moment. This is a bear pin on NQ, and I can have the world's tightest stop loss if I enter here. This candle opened green. I want ES to sweep the high of this selling wick right here, and NQ to sweep this high. I don't think I'm gonna be that lucky though. Regardless, I gotta wait for this candle to close now. NQ made a lower low, but not a big one. It missed this lower low here. So this is good for me. This is very good. Sweep this. Sweep this, go back down. I like my chances with shorts. Now, if we just explode all the way up to here, that's going to look really good for longs. It's just going to depend on the risk reward whether or not I take those longs or not. Okay, ES swept the selling wick. I mean, it's a double top, but it doesn't really matter too much. NQ missed it. But if we do break back into this buying wick here, mean, it's a huge trade, and my stop loss would literally be if I get in and it doesn't sweep the buying wick, my stop loss would literally be here. It'd have to be a 3.0 risk to reward trade, which does not have a good chance of playing out at all. Um, but it's better than 30%, which makes up for the risk to reward. Okay, it swept. That makes my life a little bit easier. Yeah, this is a solid bear pennant. These bear pennants are a little bit more likely to break to the upside. That's why I'm like delaying entry because I don't want to enter within it. Um, Man, if it comes back down though, there's so much potential, and I feel like it's not going to happen because it'll be too perfect. But essentially, what I'm eyeballing is we come back down, I take shorts, we break to the downside, get to PT, we sweep it, bounce, take longs to this pivot. That is a very, very, very bright green day. Looks like it's back to ES. That would be the better short. NQ is a better long. You can take it to the pivot right there. It's pretty likely to break to the upside, but the risk to reward isn't there for me. It's starting to look like I may actually just take a reversal trade. If ES sweeps this high and comes back down, it's looking like I may just take a reversal trade. It's a perfect trend line on ES that needs to break to the upside. And it is doing that. And that is the pivot price target on NQ. ES is just missing its. That volume on NQ plus the pivot and supply do indicate a reversal. I could take a reversal trade if we put in a reversal candle, like if we invalidate that previous green candle. I'm kind of leaning towards just waiting for ES to invalidate most of this while it's under here. If it sweeps this pivot and puts in a reversal candle, I'm willing to take it. Take a stab at it. But this is just such a major area of support. I don't like yesterday we had that bearish news late in the day and end up invalidating the entire thing. I don't see that happening with today. I don't see us just going all the way back up. I think it's more likely that we squeeze out shorts and then fill some institutional sell orders and head back down. That would be a reversal candle to enter shorts on, but that selling wick made a lower high. So I gotta wait for ES to invalidate most of the run, and then I'm willing to take a chance on it. Looks like I'm going to be taking shorts on this candle if it closes right. That is a confirmed bearish liquidity sweep out of supply on a pivot. It could just be baiting me in again, but it would be a master baiter if that happens. I filled it. It started getting that buying wick, but then it started invalidating that buying wick. So that's my entry. So we'll see. Immediately gets a green candle. Do not enter unless it invalidates the green candle. Looks like it's a master baiter today. Hopefully not. What are the odds it does the perfect bear sweep and invalidation of most of the move candles 3 times in a row to bait me in. It kind of looks like ES is flipping stronger at the moment. Oh, totally is. That's bullish. It's going to stop me out again. Geez, how many times is it going to bait me in? What is going on with price action right now? It's going to sweep higher highs, get a huge reversal candle all the way back to the downside just to go right back up. Yeah, if this is the price action today, we're gonna finish off this week with a red futures day. It could sweep my stop and come back down, but um, I didn't want to put my stop any further away because that's still fairly far away. That's bigger than my average green trade on an average day. And I'm going to be looking for 60.99 to sweep on ES when it gets my stop. Looks like it's going to get it. And these candles keep opening bullish too. I don't know how far we're going to squeeze, but if we don't get like a magical dump, like within this candle, I'm thinking ES is going to head all the way up to VWAP. If you're scared to take a loss, just hit break even. You can sell now. I am not though. But really, like, what are the chances that 3 times I get massive red candles perfectly confirming me into shorts? If all 3 times are just baits and we don't actually drop, because I mean, at least give me one candle in the right direction before stopping me out. The last 2 short trades, I didn't get a single red candle after I entered. It went pretty much right back up. I guess the last one was technically a little bit. No, never mind. Both of them weren't. This one, I avoided it here. This, I was able to avoid it here. Not able to avoid this one, though. Yeah, I mean, the PT just to new low of day is huge. Honestly, guys, you could just trade it to low of day, but I'm looking for NQ new low of day, which means it's far. Like, this is a very ambitious deal here. So what I plan to do is, if I can get this low, I'm able to move my stop down below the high of this selling wick here. That'll drop my loss by 20%, which will be nice. Or nicer. It's definitely not nice. And then after if I get low of day, which it looks like it's trying to bounce off the trend line again. This bottom trend line is a very nice one though. If we do get low of day, then I'm going to have to move my stop to break even. My concern is though the double fake prophecy, right? Fake one way, fake the other way, go the original way. That played out yesterday very nicely. If it plays out, I hope that we can at least get to ES new low of day first so I can move my stop up to break even. Let me actually mark these out. If this buying wick holds, it's actually pretty bullish, unfortunately. Do not want this buying wick to hold. It could put in a head and shoulders and come back down, but that will be our third major buying wick. All 3 of those buying wicks making lower lows, which is very indicative of a bounce. And that buying wick did hold, but the candle closed bearish. It started giving some of it back. So that's not terrible. There's hope. There's a small amount. Lost 82% of my portfolio with that drop. That is awesome risk management, buddy. Good job, Zaheen. Well, you're gonna learn somehow. Getting ready to move my stop up. Move my stop up just a little bit. Took off some risk. At low a day, I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even. I don't really want to because I'm scared of it sweeping it perfectly, but you know, it is what it is. NQ is almost at a major level of support. It just barely missed this low. And the fact that it's already bouncing before it gets that low, guys, I'm not liking the odds of NQ getting to new low of day at the moment. I'm not going to lie. It's looking like the double fake prophecy is going to play out. Nope, that's yet another huge reversal candle on ES. It's starting to look like I'm going to have a green to red trade here. Yeah, you can sell a break even if you want or just below it. I'm not though, because there's still technically a chance that this trade plays out, but that's pretty bullish right there. A chance is NQ puts in a head and shoulders. Technically, the double fake prophecy, which is playing out right now, would be completed if NQ breaks over this trend line. So the only chance that this trade doesn't stop out is if it goes back down now. That's a very bullish candle though. Good Lord. Tell you what though, if it does go back down, shorts will be looking so freaking good because NQ missed that low. But like I said, the double fake prophecy, it played out. It already happened. So there's a small chance that we could turn around. This trade can still play out. I didn't really think there was a chance this trade could play out if the double fake happened. But because ES is a little weak, knock on wood, it has a small chance. And all these candles are opening bullish. That might, no, I think NQ may just drag me up to my stop. If the head and shoulders is going to play out, NQ needs to turn around right here. Yeah, I mean, it could do that, but that bounce was so freaking bullish. That was like not a bounce that indicates, hey, it's going to head and shoulder and turn back around. I will say though, if we did get to here, man, shorts would look so good right here. Oh my gosh, they look so good. And you know, today might just be a day of me getting baited into shorts and getting smoked, but that's 3 higher lows on NQ, and that looks actually like a perfect trend line. It is a perfect trend line. Very perfect trend line on NQ. It looks like mini bullish consolidation on NQ. Drew, why don't you tell Joey to stop? Why do I have to do it? You are? There you go. You should listen. Well, Joey, I mean, Drew, if he's not listening, then let him. If he needs consequences, let him experience them himself, and then you can hit him with an "I told you so." Looks like ES is kind of losing its weakness, and he still looks like it's trying to pull itself up. We could go for a big short squeeze here. There is a lot of shorts trying to step in and turn this thing around for the head and shoulders, and it's kind of looking like they're being unsuccessful, which I think that means we're going to squeeze to a higher high on NQ. I mean, and unfortunately, it would really suck because, if that happens, it's not even like I flipped to bullish bias because now we're going to have a very nice rising wedge. So it looks like, yeah, today's just a day where I get baited into shorts, really. Speaking of the short squeeze, there it is. Let's see if me moving up my stop saved me money or absolutely screwed me. I'm hoping that it continues up to this high after stopping me out, or else that'll be very sad. Love it. Green to red trades all over the place. It looks like me moving my stop up saved me money. Would have got my initial stop anyway, so that's pretty good. If we come back down, I'm willing to try it one more time. But like, there's not much I can do. I can't go long. I can really only go short, and every single short I took was freaking fantastic. But that's the double fake prophecy playing out on ES. Unfortunately, it played out, but it's not like it was unexpected. It's one of my styles of analysis for a reason. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Oh my god. Terrible. What a freaking scam. Oh my god. What can you do? What can you do? It's almost like the whole time I've been saying I'm bearish, and I tried 3 times. Look at that. I didn't even have a hard PT either. I would have fucking printed. What are you gonna do, man? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I tried so hard, guys. I knew that shit was gonna happen. I tried so hard. Well, it's like so crazy that it's like laughable. It's genuinely laughable. And you know what? I took 3 losses chasing that result just for it to happen right after. So, if we invalidate Moses' move, I'm gonna have to hop in a long, but I got freaking scammed, folks. That's like the definition of getting scammed right there. And watch, it's gonna bait me into longs and go right back down. But I'm gonna have, yep, I gotta enter longs on this candle. Oh, are you kidding me? Yep. Here come the last 10 seconds. This selling wick goes away, I'm in longs. The analysis was there, folks. The analysis was there, even down to the double fake happening. But that's the most unlucky shit I have seen this entire year. And I've been unlucky quite a bit. That is like the most unlucky shit I've seen all year. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, really, it couldn't even wait like 5 minutes after it stopped me out. It dumps 1 minute. No, it dumped like 30 seconds after I stopped out. Are you kidding me? What a freaking scam. Anyways, if this selling weight goes away, I have to enter longs. Such a clean rising wedge too. I cannot believe I didn't make money on that setup. I was 100% correct that entire time. I knew it. What a freaking scam. The hell just happened? JC, I got scammed is what happened. I tried 3 times a short because I was so bearish for NQ to break this demand. And I got stopped out on the third attempt for a third loss in a row. I got stopped out 1 minute before the dump happened. You'd love to see it. Well, one thing you aren't going to see me do is break my rules. That's not going to happen. However, most retail traders that are in my situation would probably bet the house right now just to try to make back the gains that they missed out on. Ain't gonna happen. I don't really want to enter longs, but I'm going to. Like I mean, I'm confirmed in. All I can do is just get confirmed in my trades, and if I get unlucky, then I just get unlucky. This is a huge trade though. Yeah, don't take this trade if you're not willing to stop out, because this is a very sizable trade here. It's 1.5 risk to reward, but the stop loss is 52 points away. Is it gonna invalidate? Nope. Next candle opens green, I'll hop in. We just got lucky. You got lucky, GL snipers. I did not. I stopped out, hit my stop loss 1 minute before that happened. If I were trading options though, my stop losses aren't hard. I probably would have caught it. And I would have entered with half size and pretty much caught the whole thing. It's looking like I'm gonna get in, but ES's PT is so much further away. But ES looks like it's flipping stronger. Yeah. So it's gonna have to be ES that I enter. I still have some time here though. Yeah, that's 50% of the move. NQ as well. Yep. I'm gonna have to hop in. It's probably gonna be my last trade if I lose. I'll just write off today as like the most unlucky day ever. I tried, guys. The analysis was there. Everything was there. I got absolutely scammed. But, you know, it is what it is. It just, shit like that just happens sometimes. Some days you're the bird, and some days you're the statue. And if today's just a day where I'm baited into trades, then that's just the way it is. Anyways, it looks like I was baited in. Do not follow this trade because it immediately put in a bearish engulfing candle that's massive. So this is gonna stop out. Yeah, today's just a day where I'm baited in trades. Unfortunate. Wow, it's gonna stop out in a single candle. Goddamn. You know, I needed that selling wick to completely invalidate and be above the 50% retracement. If that green candle was any smaller, I wouldn't have got in right there. I'm like getting perfectly hornswoggled today. And now ES is back to being weak. Unfortunate. Pretty guaranteed to stop out. I'm not taking shorts if it goes back down. It's really longs or nothing. I'm actually willing to take one more long trade, and then that's it for me today. And I am so annoyed that I didn't catch that drop. I knew it was going to happen. That's so frustrating. Did NQ miss this high? No, it didn't quite miss the high. Just happened to my chart. Can we get a heads up when they're going to announce tariff stuff? This stuff is random stonky. It happens at completely random times of the day. Geez, like I'm getting really, like it had to put in just a clear, solid bullish candle before it drops. Didn't chop up or anything. Yeah, my trades are very unavoidable today. Ryan, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna put out an announcement tomorrow, but that's gonna happen next week. That's bearish, folks. I would hop back into shorts, but the truth is I'm unwilling to lose on shorts again. So you could hop into shorts here if you want. It is bearish for new low of day. I'm honestly just unwilling to I'm unwilling to lose on them. I like NQ longs down here, not gonna lie. I kinda like them. Probably won't take them though. I don't think when we squeeze all the way back up, to be honest, guys. I'm not really buying this drop. I'm not buying it. It looks like NQ's still trying to hunt for low of day. ES is a lot stronger now. Is Trump doing a press conference in 20 minutes? Type in chat. Is that true? Where are you guys seeing all these, like, how do you guys know Trump's talking? I look it up and I can't find anything. Looks like NQ's going for new low day, though. I'm liking longs, guys. I really am. I'm really liking longs on this candle on NQ, like a lot more so on ES, but that I think I'm willing to take one more trade, and I think that may be it. Very risky trade, but I like it quite a bit. I'll take one. I'll take one final attempt. If we don't end up squeezing, like I said, I can't trade short anymore. The market dumped way too much. We're in too heavy of demand. We're all those things. Um, Typically, I would want ES to sweep low of day, but I told you guys I'm not buying that. I'm not buying these. I'm not buying this dip at all. So we will see. I guess the thing is though, the PT is forever away, so you can be subjective and take profits kind of whenever you want. This is really just me trying again on my previous hypothesis, which is like the story of my life today. The first trade, fantastic, played out. Tried 3 times on this hypothesis to NQ new low of day. Failed all 3, stopped out, dumped right after. Hypothesis here, squeezed all the way back up. Failed, trying again at that. So we will, I guess we'll see. That is not a nice selling wick. If it invalidates, though, that's a very nice selling wick. Like, you want that to invalidate. Jeez, the market's moving huge, guys. This is already up a shit ton. Oh my gosh, the market is moving so much. I guess you could take profits if you want. Just hit 1.2 risk to reward. But I told you guys, my PT unfortunately is forever away. So you can take profits here if you want. That's 36 ticks on ES. That's pretty good. NQ didn't even make the higher high yet. I'm okay risking it for the bigger one. This is a new account anyways, so it's like I'm not giving back profits that I've already worked for. Looks like that was a pretty good PT if you just sold there though. I'm still pretty bullish that it keeps squeezing up, but you're already getting a bearish reaction from that level. Oh my gosh. That is short squeeze potential right there. You have 2 big selling wicks in a row, and right out the jump, they start invalidating both of them on the next candle. What are the chances it actually gets all the way back up? That's far, guys. That's really far. 30 points on ES is too far away. I don't really like those odds. Some TQQ long. Okay, but for real though, how many times is like Trump gonna how many times is Trump gonna mention tariffs and how many times in a row is the market gonna dump as a response? Like I don't understand why it's not pricing in, you know what I mean? I think it's legitimately just algorithms that see it and sell like within milliseconds. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more and more of these tariff drops get bought back up. Let's see. Here's our first very bearish candle. It's looking pretty damn bearish at the moment. That is a bearish liquidity sweep on ES. She forgot to document this trade. Geez, that is a very bearish candle. Good Lord. That can go all the way down to my stop loss because that is yeah, it's a bearish liquidity sweep right there. Technically, that's bearish consolidation now. The problem is, though, that typically bearish consolidation does not invalidate 50% of the first leg. But that is a very bearish candle. Bearish liquidity sweep off this level. But if that red candle invalidates, we're probably going to go all the way back up. That's a very bearish candle, and that's a lot of shorts to invalidate right there. Very good sell. If you took that sell, that 1.2 risk toward sell, if you took that, that was a very good sell. Good job. And that's a big trade too. That's 36 ticks on ES. That's a really big trade. You know, for two minis, which will be a full size position, I'm half size still currently, but for a full size position, that's like an $800 trade. Fed talks at 12 is all I see. Yeah, I don't see that either. Liking ES's strength here. Guys, honestly, my PT's too far away to be an optimist. I'm just going to be real with you guys. But that shit's bullish right there. I told you guys, if we invalidate that candle, that looks real good. It's still trying to put in a selling wick, which could be really good if we keep invalidating. I want to see how NQ interacts with my blue line, because that's going to be a very big deal. That's going to be very, very heavy resistance. If we can break above my blue line on NQ and not put in a super bearish reversal candle, I think the rest of the way it's going to go up fairly easy. No, another super bearish candle. I don't know if it's going to be able to invalidate two of those guys. That may be it. NQ didn't even fully invalidate that other one before put in this one. The bearish candlestick open right there. That might be it. NQ, I said if that red candle validates, it's super, super bullish. NQ didn't do it. It got very close, but didn't do it and swept it and failed to fully invalidate it. So it looks like shorts are back in control. Yeah, it's not looking like it's gonna go back up. I think shorts are gonna slam this thing back to low of day. Now, if it does, you know, if it sweeps low of day and comes back up to here, that's going to be even, honestly, you don't even need to wait. I would take a reversal trade if it sweeps low of day properly. But if it gets back to here, no doubt in my mind it'll get back to that blue line. But it looks like those of you that took the 1.2 risk toward freaking crushed it, because that was the perfect PT right there. Just going to wait for this to stop out so I can journal today's data and leave it be. Man, should have been such a bright green day, guys. It really should have. That really pisses me off. I tried so many times for that short, and the market just wasn't giving it to me. This long, too, was pretty good. This long, you could have easily been so bright green on this long. But I was just looking for more than it was able to give. This is a bear flag on ES. Oh my gosh, that's a perfect trend line. And NQ is actually a bear pennant. As far as the NQ chart, it looks like if it breaks to the downside, it's going to be a fake to the downside, then go up. Like, I'm really not buying this drop much. Not enough to just blindly enter longs and not stop out, but also you got to keep in mind, you know, this was bearish consolidation here, which still so painful that I didn't make money on this. It should have been such a bright green day, except now it's the exact opposite. It's a bright red day. This was clearly bearish consolidation. You get 1.5 candles of downside, and then it starts bearish consolidation again. Statistically speaking, this bearish consolidation, while it could still break to the downside because it is a bear pennant, it's much less likely to do so. It's more so 50-50. And in some, today's weird because there's a lot of weird news stuff happening. But if just looking at the chart, I would say this bear pennant actually has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. It should not, after you get, what was this, an entire hour? Yeah, after you get pretty much an hour of bearish consolidation, you should not start bearishly consolidating just 1 minute after the breakout. Even though it was a huge minute, it should not start happening. Like, I think this is not a short I can ever take. Now, if you're not in a trade and this selling wick invalidates on NQ, it's back to looking pretty bullish. But it's like, you know, I don't know what the market wants to do. I've kind of lost all trust for the market today. I cannot believe I did not make money on that short, guys. Painful. Dumped 1 minute after. Just couldn't come 1 minute sooner. So painful. It looks like this bear pennant wants to break to the upside on NQ. Also, the top trend line does have a lot more tests on it. Its price action has spent a lot more time around that 21,726 area on NQ. So that's looking like this trade could potentially still be saved. There's a chance. Again, when it gets close to my stop loss, you guys know I'm a pessimist. So I'm not going to get my hopes up or anything, but let's see if I'm correct regarding which way this bear pennant breaks out. James, glad to see you, dude. Looks like NQ is going to flip stronger than ES, which makes sense. It needs to catch up. ES is at that level again. It's almost like we called a break to the upside. All right, folks, very quickly. I am very stuck on where to put my PT. Of course, it could go right back down right now, which would be very unfortunate if it did. But anyways, this was my PT, but if it gets all the way up here, do we really think the odds are that much worse that it gets to here? You know? I don't really think so. Type in chat, what do you guys think? Do you guys really think it's likely to reject the first high? Because I think NQ is going to try to go for this. pivot. Is it going to get there? I feel like it could reject supply, but I don't know. It's up huge. I'm green on the day, so you could sell right now if you want to. This is my last trade. I'm not. Um, I am moving my stop to break even, which is painful because I know that it can come down and sweep it, then go back up because it can put in like a crazy head and shoulders. But I don't care. Now this is a free trade, so. Oh, those selling wicks are not nice though. It would be nice if they invalidate, but there's a lot of short stepping in here still. Was there news there? Type in chat. Was there news? Did something happen? Did Trump say something, or was that just like a really big short squeeze candle with crazy volume? That's a lot of shorts entering there. Again, you guys could, I mean, it's up massive. Like this is the biggest trade we've taken in a very long time. Actually, it is. I think the biggest ES trade that I've taken with you guys is 76 ticks. It hit 75. Or sorry, it hit 76 on the dot. Which is 19 points. But that wasn't my PT, so I'll write it out. If it gets back to stop loss at break even, that's very unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Fed speaker. It might be. Yep, looks like that's it, folks. Well, you could have taken profits at any point. Was up an absolute ton. Was a phenomenal trade, but it's looking like it's going to get. I mean, there was. Again, it looks like it's going to get my stop. I feel like it's actually going to get it this time. My stop's all the way at break even, so it's 98% chance going to get it. But it was a pretty damn good trade. It depends your strategy, Sniper. Depends how you trade. Man, we can actually head all the way back down to low a day. What is that? What is happening with price action right now? Are we just baiting bears into everything, or are we actually finally going to drop to low of day? Because that is such a bearish candle after so much bullish momentum. We could see low of day again. Is perfect trend line on NQ? No, not quite. I'm still expecting to stop out, but I'll let the trade run its course. I thought for sure I was going to stop out right here, and I didn't. That doesn't mean I pulled it sold early, and that happens. So there's technically a small chance that it does go all the way back up. So I'll just leave my stop where it is. That's bearish. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the market wants to do. Like that's bearish enough to produce new low of day, but we came all the way up to it is a Bree says a 78.6 fib rejection, which it is perfectly, and the 78.6 PT is all the way down here. That's bearish enough for low of day. It's hard to believe that it's going to happen though. It looks like it's going to. The chart tells me it's going to happen, but logically speaking, that is very hard to believe that that's going to happen. Golden fib is 61.8. JR. If you did sell at that high, I'd recommend re-entering if we either sweep new low of day bullishly or we invalidate this drop. If we invalidate this drop, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to head all the way back up. But it still looks like we want new low of day. This is a bear pennant here. Is it actually going to play out? I'm not sure. But now I have to think about the double fake prophecy. So, and ES unfortunately is flipped way weaker than NQ, which looks terrible. Yeah, that stop loss to break even. Well, did make back all the losses up here. Missed my PT by a little bit. It looks like we're going all the way back down to low day. This isn't price action that I can trade. So I'm just gonna end today early because I just don't want to trade this. This is just absolute randomness. We get chop, one massive breakout candle, and then back to chop. It's not very tradable. So I'm gonna lock in a red day again. Should have been bright green. Should have been bright green. It really should have, but that's just the way it goes. I'm not willing to take more losses on this shitty price action. But congrats if you did take that trade and made money. I mean, that was up 78 or 76 ticks on ES, which is a lot. That's the size of 3 green trades. Didn't sell because it wasn't at my PT, but that doesn't mean you guys didn't have to. So, but all right, well, good luck if you continue trading. I have no idea what price action is going to do. Naturally, I'm bullish for this drop to invalidate, but it looks like it may end up going for low day, so not sure. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. At least options was fantastic today. And also, I got to post more futures and options reviews on my YouTube, so stay tuned for that. And then I got that mentorship announcement I'm going to send out later today. All right, I will see you guys later.